how we should get the final product. So without further ado, let's begin. First step is going to be to open the file itself. If the yellow bar up here comes up saying that you need to enable editing, make sure you click enable editing, and the file should automatically rename, so that includes your name, but if it doesn't, take the time right now just to manually change it. Next, we are going to apply the Office theme to this worksheet. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Insert, we're going to go to Page Layout, we're going to go to Themes, and we're going to click on Office, more specifically Office 2013 to 2022 theme. Click that. We should change all the font and spacing of our document. Next, we want to change a bit of data. This is step 4. We're going to click on cell A2, and we're going to change this to first period sales by department. And then we are going to find cell D6, so basketball, and we're going to change this to 1950. All right, moving on to step 5, what we're going to do is we're going to select cells A1 and A2. We're going to go home, and we're going to click the down arrow next to the merge and center. We're going to click on unmerge cells, and now you can see that they are not merged over the 6 cells here. Then we're going to click the aligned left button right here, and we're going to change the font size of these cells to 16. So you click the down arrow here, we're going to click 16. Lastly, we want to change the row height for these 2 rows to 24. So we're going to select both rows by clicking and dragging on the numbers here. We're going to right click, row height. It's at 15 currently. We want it to be at 24. Hit enter, and you can see the row size resizes itself. Moving on to step 6, we're going to use the fill handle to complete a series. So we're going to select cell B3, so January, and we are going to click and drag on the little box next to January all the way through E3, and you can see Excel is going to automatically fit the rest of these columns with the rest of the months, so January, February, March, April. Next, we're going to work on some of this data here. So we are going to use the auto sum to create a total column for our departments. So we're going to select cell F4. We're going to go to so I'm going to select cell F4. In the home here, we've got this sigma. This is the Greek symbol for it. We're going to double click it, and what it's going to do is it's going to automatically, if we click the formula, it's going to assume we want to sum up these 4 numbers, and what it will do is it will put this number into its own cell here. Awesome. Next, what we want to do is we want to fill this down for the rest of the spreadsheet. So the little box in the right corner, bottom right corner, what we're going to do is we're going to double click it, and it's going to bring the formula down, autofill it for the rest of our departments here. We are then going to select cell G4. So this is where we want to put in, out of the 4 departments, which number is the highest. And we are going to use the max function. So back in the home tab up here, we're going to find this Greek symbol here, and we're going to click the down arrow instead, and we're going to click on max. And so what Excel is automatically going to do is it's going to say, look at these 5 numbers, which one's the largest, except we don't want to include the total, right? Because the total is always going to be the largest. We want the biggest out of these 4 departments. So what we want to do is we want to grab the selection that Excel is going to automatically make and drag it so that it's not including this. We are then going to press enter, and we can see that Excel's max function figures out which of these months is the largest, March being the case in the apparel department. We're then going to do the same thing, and we are going to We are then going to do something similar in the worst, right? This is where we want to figure out what the smallest uh, sales number is here. So we're going to go click on H4. We're going to go back up to the arrow next to the Greek letter, and we're going to click min this time. And so same thing. Excel is going to try and assume, oh, it wants to pick all these 5 numbers, but we only want to pick these. We want Excel to consider these 4 when it's figuring out the worst sales numbers. So we're going to drag that selection down so that it only includes these 4. Hit enter, and we can see also that Excel is doing this correctly. It's taking January's number of 2,600 as the worst sales in that department. We're then going to select both G4 and H4 and double click so that it drags the formula for both of these, the best and worst, down to the entire column. We're then going to, at the bottom here, delete the contents of the cells, these 3 cells, right? Because they're trying to find we're going to just delete these 2, G18 to H18. Hit delete. And then what we want to do is we want to select cell B18 right here, and we want to figure out the total department sales in January. So what we're going to do is we are going to go up here and we're going to click the Greek symbol, the sigma, once. You can see Excel is going to suggest that we add up all of the sales in January. This is what we want. We don't need to adjust the range it's working with. So we are going to hit enter, and you can see that Excel gives us the total number right here. And what we're going to do then is we're going to do the same thing. We're going to click and drag, and we hold onto the bottom right corner of the cell and drag over to April. Excuse me. And you can see that the cells, the formula will automatically copy itself over to February, March, and April. Awesome. One last little thing we might have to do is that you might notice February is being cut off by the start of the March column. So what we're going to do up into C here is we are going to double click to the border between C and D, where you see those 2 little arrows, and Excel will auto fit the column so that we can see the entire word February. Awesome. Now we're going to move on to some graphical tricks in Excel. We're going to try and make this spreadsheet look a little bit better. And what we're going to do first is we're going to select cells B4 to H18, so the entire selection here, and we're going to go and change these to accounting format. So in home, we're going to go over to number, click this down arrow next to the word general, and click on accounting. And then what you might notice is we'll get a couple hashtags here. What these hashtags mean, or these pound signs, whatever you want to call them, mean is that the data in these cells is too long and the column is too narrow to accommodate it. So what we want to do, again, like we did with February here, is we're going to double click the border between B and C. Excel will automatically make the cell a little bit larger just so that we can see all the numbers. If you want to save some time, you can select all 3 of these rows, double click, and it will do the same for all 3. So now we can see all our data out in the open. Awesome. Next, what we want to do is we want to select cells B5 to, that is H17, so everything except for the first and last rows. And we are going to hit Control 1 in our keyboard. It's going to bring up the Format Cells dialog box. We want to make sure that we are on the Number tab up here, and we're going to go to the Accounting tab if you aren't already there. And we are going to click on the down arrow next to symbol here and select none. We're going to hit OK, and you'll see what it does is it removes the $sign from everything except for the first and last row, as it's generally common practice to have the $sign on the first and last row, but it becomes very repetitive and very cluttered if we just keep putting the $sign, so we like to remove it for anything that isn't the first or last row. At here, let's take a minute and let's just double check that we are matching what figure 1-108 looks like. Looks like we're doing well so far, so let's keep moving. If not, take a minute, go back, see which step you missed, and then once you figure it out, come back to this step. So if your current work looks like figure 1-108, means we can move on. What we want to do is we want to select cells A3 to H3, and we're going to hit the bold, and we're going to hit the center. We then want to select cells A3 through A3 through H18, and we're going to go to borders up here, click the down arrow, we're going to click all borders. We then want to insert a blank row between 2 and 3 here, so we're going to right click on 3, we're going to click insert, it's going to add a blank row. We want to make sure that now the row height of 14 is 18, so we're going to right click on the number 4, row height, we're going to change that from 15 to 18, click OK. We then want to select cells A2 to H2, and we're going to go to the down arrow here, and we're going to go to the down arrow, we're going to click thick bottom border. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go to cell A19, and we're going to right align cell A19 so the total is right aligned. We then also want to select all these cells, and we're going to bold them like we did the headers. We're going to then increase the row height here. So again, right click 19, row height, and we're going to change that to 18. We then want to select cells A4 through H4, so the header. We're going to press and hold Control on our keyboard, and we're going to select cells A19 to H19. So we're selecting both of these rows. We're going to go to the paint bucket here. We're going to press the down arrow, and we're going to click on light gray background 2. So now the header and the total line are slightly color different as to provide emphasis. And lastly, if you in your version you are still getting pound signs or hashtags, whatever you want to call them, in your columns, make sure that you double click the columns to make sure that they auto fit and you can see all the numbers in our spreadsheet here. Awesome. Now we're going to mess around with the print settings. So if we had to print this for our manager or our boss, how would that look like? What we're going to do is we're going to go to the Insert tab, and we are going to, in the text group here, we're going to click on Header and Footer. So now Excel's going to give us a preview of what it's going to look like when it's printed. Ignore how it's being cut off here. We're going to fix that in a later step. In the left footer section, what we want to do is insert the sheet name. So we're going to click on the left box here in the header. Or excuse me, not the header, but the footer. So we're going to scroll all the way down here. In the footer here, we're going to, in the left box, we're going to hit here. If this isn't selected, go to header and footer, and we're going to press the button sheet name. This formula will come up. If you just select the middle cell, you can see that the sheet name, first period, is just put right there. And then in the right footer, we're going to do the same thing, except with the file name. So we're going to hit file name. Again, this formula comes up, but if we hit the middle, you can see it renames to whatever our file name is. Again, mine is different. It should have your name. We're then going to go to View. We're going to click any cell in the sheet. We'll scroll all the way to the top here. Any cell, we're going to go to View, and we're going to go back to Normal. So now it's remove the print preview. But let's go back to that issue where, as you remember, the worst column was being cut off in our printing. What we want to do is we want to go to File, Print. Again, we can see that the worst column is being cut off. So what we want to do is we want to go down to Scaling here and click Fit All Columns on One Page. And now that you can see that Excel will resize this spreadsheet so that all the columns are fit on one page. We are going to go back. And now moving on to step 10, we're going to open. So this is the spreadsheet finally finished. What we want to do is lastly is just add some data to the spreadsheet. So we're going to go File. We're going to go Info. And in the title, we're going to do sales by department. Awesome. And then in the status property, it's a little bit difficult to find. What we're going to do is we're going to click the down arrow next to properties, advanced properties, custom. We're going to see this list here. We're going to scroll down until we find status. We're going to type in a value, the value being first draft, and we're going to click add. Hit OK and exit out of the info tab.